Good morning, my darlings. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to our first live trading event or our first live event of the year. All right, there we go. It's recording now. All right. Good morning, my darlings, and welcome to our first live event of the year with Wall Street Ben Black, Building Generational Wealth. I'm super excited for this because I don't know, 4 hours to sit back and just yap and talk about my experience and answer questions and share my knowledge. Hey, man, it sounds like a good day to me. So we're going to actually we have about 4.5, 5 hours actually. So we're going to break this down into three different sessions. We're going to have our morning session, an intermission because the in-person event we're going to be doing icebreakers, and then we'll have an afternoon session as well. Y'all will receive the links to the afternoon session 30 minutes before, and you're going to be able to hop right back in, and that's going to be at 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern. And then we'll wrap up the day from there. In the morning session, what we're going to cover is a lot of vocabulary, terminology, and the concept, the foundation of it all. And in the afternoon, we're going to cover a lot of the terminology and the foundation and the concept of what to do for your children. So in the morning, we're going to focus on how to get ourselves right. In the afternoon, we're going to focus on how to make sure that we get the kids right. Because at the end of the day, something that hit me maybe a couple of years ago is that everything that I'm doing right now is not for me. It's for who comes after me. Yeah, I'm gonna get to enjoy it, a little bit now, right? But the first to do it is usually the one in the trenches. I'm understanding that in my lifetime, I'm gonna be in the trenches building, but that's okay because as they grow up and then they have their kids and their family, they won't be in these trenches. I'm breaking chains here, and that's what keeps me going. Not that anybody asked, but that's very much so what keeps me going. When people ask me, like, how do you do all this? And you don't sleep and you here, you there, you always up. Because I know the sacrifice that I'm making, they're not going to have to do that after me. I shouldn't have no grandchildren, great grandchildren, great great grandchildren that are suffering or trying to figure it out. It ends here, right? Well, I guess I'll say it begins here. But so we're going to go ahead. The morning session, what our objective is to just understand the stock market as a system, as an entity, especially right now. We want to know why it exists and who is it for, our key terms and players, and we're just beginning to connect the dots between our generation and the next few. What is the stock market? This is important, right? Because there's a lot of buzzwords, and right now there's a lot of headlines. Let me ask y'all real quick first. Y'all let me know in the chat what is one headline that you heard about or you read or you saw, whatever, this week. Was one headline that you saw? What is a headline that we saw? Powell going to the White House to chat with Trump. Yep, that's very important. You got the two most powerful men in the world. You got the president of the free world, and then you have the head of the Federal Reserve got together and to meet. What else did we see? Let's get two more things that we saw in the headlines. Elon Musk on drugs. Okay. I saw that too. That's a good one. Nvidia earnings. Okay, cool. Tariff plays. Sick of him. Sick of him. Okay, cool. Listen, right now there's so many buzz lines or like just all these headlines that are here to freak us out. And they kind of working, okay? And most people walking around and they got a 401k and a retirement account and they still don't really understand the system that their money's in. Yesterday in my I have a private mentee chat and somebody asked in the chat, I'm paraphrasing, but they asked, what is like what the heck is going on? Is the market being manipulated? who, what, where, and why. And I actually want to read y'all the response that I put in there because I loved that they were even questioning the system, I guess. And because he was just like, okay, so what is Trump doing? Somebody else said manipulating the market. And I said, okay, hold on, let me try to steer this conversation another way. So I said, what he's doing is triggering a market response that's going to weaken our global competitors because then that's going to boost the US based companies. So as an investor, I don't see any negative in the headlines. I don't. The man is in office. We done grieved the silk press funeral. Okay. We could have had a silk press sister up in there. It didn't happen. The man is he in there. We got 3.5 years to go. It is what it is. So, and I said, as the investor in me, I don't see a negative in this because I'm never going to complain about being able to buy Apple lower. We also see that he's appealing to his voters and industrial lobbyists. The crooked mother sucker is making moves to boost this economy. And that's why Elon must step down so that he'd be able to distance himself from the US policy decisions because Elon thought stuff was sweet. He thought the closer he got to the leader of the free world, the more deals he would get with his company, forgetting that Trump is for who? Self. Self. Boy, he didn't care about you. He did not care about you. So now Elon has to separate himself and it's just all of this stuff. And yeah, it's still, I don't really necessarily like that man or his administration. I don't, whatever your political views are, that's what it is. But I made a very intentional decision about, what is this, June and March. So about 2, 3 months ago, I made a very intentional decision that everything I see in the headlines is an opportunity. It's an opportunity because what's our other option? Like for real, what's the other option? We just sit and complain about something that's not gonna change. Mm, nah. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to understand the system because the system is working in overtime right now. It is working in over freaking time. So today we're just gonna really get some clarity and some empowerment. All right, so a stock is not just a number on the screen. We have ownership with this. And right now, more than ever, I want to own things. Not even things, I want to own everything. Everything. And we already know that when we buy a stock, we're buying a piece of a company. So it's like, let's say that you go to I went to Cracker Barrel this morning, so it's on my mind. So let's say you go to Cracker Barrel, you get a piece of cornbread from like the whole tray. And that tray, it belongs to the restaurant. Like it belongs to Cracker Barrel, right? But that one piece of cornbread that I got, that's mine. That's mine. So that piece of cornbread now gives me equity and voting power. If I walk into Cracker Barrel, y'all stick with me here, right? I walk into Cracker Barrel, I get my piece of cornbread. I now have equity in Cracker Barrel and I have voting power. With the equity, I get a piece of, I have claim to their profit, to their revenue. And that little country still makes some money. And with the voting power, I'm I might even have an ability to say like how the company is run and be like, you know what? Y'all need some games other than checkers outside. Let's put something other than some rocking chairs outside. I get to come in and say. So another example is I think that's good. So that's just what a stock is. It's a fractional share of a company. And when we talk about investing, we're really talking about buying ownership in other people's success. Let me say that again. When we talk about ownership in the stock market, we're talking about investing and buying ownership in other people's success. So we're going to let somebody else do the hard work. And then we are coming in and paying attention to the fact that, oh, they're hard workers. This is a great company. I want a piece. That's it. It'd be that simple. It's literally that simple. Now I want to cover equity just a little deeper, but it simply means ownership in an asset that has value. And an asset is something that makes us money. So in the case, with Cracker Barrel, when I took the cornbread, now I own a part of their business. And just keep checking the chat, make sure we good. positive perspective is very much so needed. I do want to ask y'all, I'm going to be pretty interactive, or I'm going to ask y'all to be pretty interactive with me today because it's my ladies. But what's like the last thing that happened, like in this economy, in this country, whatever you want to say, that just kind of shook you? So, for example, for myself, mm, it was the International Trade Committee being trumped by Trump. Because I really thought we were saved. I was like, oh, the International Trade Committee came in and said no tariffs. Wake up the next day and I guess they are really not that important. What's the last thing that shook y'all? The November election. Moving on. Okay. All right. And I think we could probably just wrap it up like that then. We could probably just go ahead and wrap that one up like that. All right. Let's actually not you. Okay. Now let's talk about the stock market. This is just a system where all of these stocks that we're talking about, like the pieces of the company, this is where they're bought and sold. Not just on Wall Street. It's not just the billionaires and trading floors and that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. What is it? Wolf on Wall Street. It's not just that. It's just this huge marketplace, like a grocery store, where companies, investors, institutions, and even governments can meet up to exchange ownership for capital. So y'all turn to page, I'm here in person, but here in person, you'll turn to page 5 in your workbooks. Here we go. So we're just gonna make it real simple, like we have here on the screen. Imagine that we have a farmer's market, and the sellers are the companies. The buyers are investors, just like you and I. Now those stands and the booths and all that be out there, right? Those are the different stock exchanges. There's the different exchanges because we're gonna have the New York Stock Exchange, the Nasdaq, the Dow, just all that, and then all the items that they have for sale. They're is those are the shares of stock, like the fruits and the veggies and the handcrafted artwork and all that stuff. Those are your shares of stock. So when we walking through that farmers market and you got your wallet, aka your brokerage account, you choose which boost do you want to spend your money at. Maybe you want to buy one share of Apple. And then you go to the next booth and you buy 10 shares of Ford. So it's just like at any market, the prices are going to vary. It's not just one size fits all. We're all going to have different tastes. We're all going to have a different menu, different plans for what we're going to cook. Some people, I can't fry chicken because to this day, I still don't have a deep fryer. I still ain't got no deep fryer. So fried chicken at my house, that's a no-go. But I can air fry it. I can do that. All right. Sometimes things go on sale. Some of the booths are crowded. Everybody want to be invested in it. Some of them aren't. And it is what it is. Now I want to talk about, because I did mention some different exchanges. So I want to talk about the stock exchanges in depth. We have the New York Stock Exchange, and this exchange, or let's call it a grocery store for right now, this market is gonna have aisles that has companies like Coca-Cola, Walmart, MasterCard, United Healthcare, which I know that's a controversial topic at this moment, right? United Healthcare. And then another stock exchange is going to be the NASDAQ. And that market, that exchange, we're going to see the aisles are filled with more tech giants. So we're going to see Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple. We gonna see all those, right? And then a brokerage account. This is your personal pass to the market. It's a financial account that lets you buy and sell stocks. So we can use Fidelity, Schwab, TD Ameritrade. Those are just some examples that we can use. E-Trade. I know a lot of people hear about Robinhood. I do not suggest staying with Robinhood. I know it's a great place to get started at, but I wouldn't suggest staying there for too long just because those fees really add up. And this isn't something that we're just going to do like once a month for a couple of years. We're doing this for the rest of our lives, right? Those fees adds up, babes. We don't necessarily want that. So the market is open for business Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 4 Eastern and closed on federal holidays, all that. But the price movement never stops. Even when the market closes, these companies are still operating. Verizon Wireless is open right now. Home Depot is open right now. United Healthcare is taking our money right now. Okay? The news is still going to break and the reactors are still, or the investors are still going to react and freak out or get happy, whatever it is. So the stock market, it reflects one thing, y'all. It reflects what we believe is going to happen next. Whatever the crowd believes is going to happen next is how the stock market will react. Have y'all ever noticed how emotional the stock market is before? Pre-COVID again. Yeah, he talk on now. The market is very emotional. It's like a preteen. It's very emotional, very emotional. Right, so let's talk about public versus private companies. Because now that we know what a stock is and what the stock market does, we got to take it a step further. Because not all of the companies sell stock to the public. And that's something that I typically I find is what the hardest thing for me, because y'all know we're gonna get into these kids to our legacies later on. So I have found what the hardest thing for me to explain to my godkids, they're 11, is that not all companies can be public or publicly traded. So let's make sure we really get that. All right. We'll start with the private companies. These are businesses that are owned by individuals or like a family or even a small group of investors. So it could be your favorite restaurant, um, not McDonald's, like your favorite mom and pop restaurant. It could be your auntie's hair salon, a little beauty shop, and it could even be like a multi-million dollar tech startup company, but it's still like growing behind the scenes and whatnot. They're choosing to not sell stock to the public. However, if they need money, and so, since they're not going to sell their stock to the public, if they need money, they're either going to take their profits and reinvest into themselves, they're going to borrow from a bank, or they're going to go get more investors, which just means that they just put in more people in their business, more people that they split in their profit with, right? So, what is a private company that you can think about? What is a company that you assume is a private company? OpenAI. OpenAI is a public company. The ticker is AI. ChatGPT is a private company. It's a private multi-million dollar company, but OpenAI is publicly traded. I would say Koch owns GP Invest in Molex. Never even heard of them. Cool. I have to look into them. I would say not McDonald's. McDonald's is actually publicly traded. Sonic. Sonic is not publicly traded. Taco Bell is, Pizza Hut, all these things, right? Charles Koch is the owner, used to work for them. Okay, lit. I love when I have classy people around me. Lit, right? So we can invest in all of them. At this moment, I thought somebody was gonna bust out and say Wall Street been black. I am a private company. The way I'm able to run is I I I borrow from my personal loans. I have an investor, and if need be, I get a loan from the bank and run it off like that, right? Whatever I'm gonna do, but I'm not selling shares of my company to the public, not yet. Okay. Now, a public company, they've decided to go public. They're gonna offer shares to the public through the stock market. So anybody that has a brokerage account can own a piece of them, whether it's one share or a million of them. Anybody can grow or own them. So let's say that you and your family, y'all got a barbecue. Y'all got a little barbecue joint. Y'all doing numbers. People love the food. They love that potato salad. Y'all got some collard greens and turnip greens. Got the okra, the baked beans, and with the baked beans put the mustard and the brown sugar, and you got some ground beef. You did the right. Y'all popping. You could keep things private and borrow from the bank. Get some investors, or you could go public by letting outside investors pay for a piece of ownership in exchange for capital. When I buy a piece of Apple, who you think get the money? Apple. They giving me a tiny little piece of their company so that I can profit and do something with my life and my family. And they get the capital. And they just get to keep on trucking. Right? So when you go public, we still at the barbecue joint, when we go public, you're not just selling food anymore. Now you have to sell trust. You have to sell transparency. And you have to give up a piece of control. So it's a very big decision to go public. It is a very big decision to go public because you are allowing anyone to become a partial owner just by buying stock through an exchange. So that's whether you have a business or one that you're thinking about, you want to grow one day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do you think that you would want to be in the perfect world, right? Would you want to be a public or a private company? I'll go ahead and tell y'all for myself, I have plans to become a public company because I believe that Wall Street Ben Black is diverse. Don't let the name fool you. I have a lot of interest when it comes to financial literacy and some things I want to do online, other things I want to do brick and mortar. I want to create textbooks for schools. I want to be a part of changing the educational program, like the curriculum that's in that. I am currently in the process of publicly not reinventing, but rebranding in a way because I've just been connecting with a lot of lobbyists because I absolutely think the curriculum of public schools is stupid. I think it's stupid. Why are they learning how to dissect a frog when they're 16 years old when they're telling you they're squeamish? They don't like it. They're never going to do it. But we all have to pay taxes. Yet we're not learning that. You forcing me to come to school. You forcing us to put these kids in school. Never mind. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, let me focus. My bad, y'all. Once that get on my brain, I can get to going. But let me focus. We talking about this. So for myself, right, I want to be a public company because I'm going to be able to expand more with what I want to do. I want to lobby and change things. So for you, which one do you think you'd want to do? A public or a private company? And why? Oh yeah, you get me going. I get going. I just don't even understand the curriculum there, but private, you like to control, period. Period. Okay, because I hate for somebody to do something that I don't want them to do with my business. I feel you. I feel you. So it's very important. So let's talk about when a company IPOs. Let's talk about when a company IPOs. The one that is at the top of my brain is Klarna. Klarna is expected to go public here very, very, very soon. Now, in the headlines, all we hearing about lately is how people not paying their Klarna bill, right? So when you hear that people aren't paying their Klarna bill and you know that they're about to go public, would you want to invest in that company or no? One for yes, I would like to invest in Klarna. Two for no. One for yes, two for no. Where we at, y'all? I got a no, 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 yes and no. I thought they were going to bankrupt. Well, Miss Mary, what did we just talk about with public companies? All right. They're not going to go bankrupt. They're going to go public. They're going to raise capital through us. Right. Very smart. It's very smart of these, right? Y'all feel me? Put a 3 in the chat if you feel me. Why I'm all the way in on Klarna. Because they they said we're not gonna handle this ourselves. We also see y'all not gonna pay it. We can't go out of business, so we'll just go public. Real smart. Real smart, right? So now let me re-ask. Does anybody change their position? Would you be interested a little bit more now in investing in Klarna when it IPOs? Well, not right when it IPOs. We typically want to wait a little bit, right? We typically don't go to a new restaurant like the first weekend that is open. We kind of wait till people get on Facebook, talk about it, and then we go peep it out, right? That's what we want to do when these companies IPO. Kind of peep what they're doing first. Let them prove themselves first. Because once they go public, it ain't like they're going to go away in a year. We got years to catch it. So we could typically do that. But yeah, I'm interested in Klarna for that fact alone, that before their books got cooked, they said, never mind, we just gonna go public. Never mind. We're trying to compete with a firm anyway. I love that for them. Now, Stripe is also going public. Let's talk about the difference between Klarna and Stripe. Business owners like to use Stripe because Stripe will allow you to use Klarna, Afterpay, PayPal, credit, all that stuff. And then they typically give the customers a larger like balance or whatever you call it. Whereas Klarna, okay, you using Klarna and you got to prove yourself to Klarna before you can get like approved for larger amounts. So but with Stripe, I can't go into Target and use Klarna. With Klarna, I can go. It's the new layaway system, literally. With Klarna, I can download the Klarna app, go onto Klarna and say like, hey, I'm at Target right now, and I got $20 on me, but my cart is gonna be about $80. Can you give me a pay in full card? You click a couple buttons, all of a sudden you got a card preloaded, $8, and you just pay it back. I can't do that with Stripe. Can't do that with Stripe. So which one do you think will make more revenue? The one that caters to businesses or the one that caters to consumers? The one that caters to the consumer, the consumer. I'm of the mind to think that the one that caters to the businesses. Now, why is that? The average business owner is gonna pay their bills back. The average consumer right now is defaulting. But because Klarna don't do what? It does not report to your credit. You feel me? So I'm of the mind to think that Stripe probably would stand a little bit firmer. Because as a business owner, I got to pay y'all back. I got to pay y'all back, or y'all just gonna shut my whole website down. That's embarrassing. With Target, that money went in my account that day. Try to pull it next week. And if it went in there next week, you're just gonna keep sending emails saying your payment is due, but you still not reporting it to the credit bureau. Now, Stripe reports you to the credit bureau, especially the business credit. So I don't know. I wanted to just talk about this too, just to whenever you see these companies, this is how I want y'all to think of them, because it's not we want to invest in companies. They might need to report, right? I do think that they will because it would cost them more. They gonna have to. It's gonna raise their operating expenses. So I do think that they will. They just need investors' capital first. They need us to come in and buy them, buy pieces of it, so they can raise the capital, raise some money, right? But I definitely think that they will because it's gonna have to be some sort of consequence so that they can, you know, it's gonna have to be some sort of consequence to it. Because then, other than that, people just gonna run it up until they can't use it anymore, and then you know, now they're just decreasing their consumer base. So I'm curious to see how that would work, and so I very much so have my eyes on what bank would they use? Would it be Goldman Sachs? Would it be Morgan Stanley? Like, who would they use? So, which, let's say, I'm just hypothetically, let's say that Klarna teamed up with Goldman Sachs. I'm going to give you two examples. Let's say that Klarna teamed up with, um, let's say Klarna teamed up with Wells Fargo, and I'm going to throw in Afterpay. Klarna teamed up with Wells Fargo. Afterpay teamed up with Goldman Sachs. Which one would you be more interested in? Just off that information alone, which one? The one that teamed up with Wells Fargo or the one that teamed up with Goldman Sachs? Sachs, Goldman, definitely not Wells Fargo. Exactly, right? These are the type of things that we want to think about. Because what if I said that Stripe was teaming up with Wells Fargo and Klarna was teaming up with Goldman Sachs? That would make me pause because I already know Wells Fargo. I ain't rocking with Wells Fargo as a bank. A staff or record label or no, I'm just playing. So it's just like this is how I want y'all to think of this stuff. Like, who do they work with? First, what problem do they solve? Okay, they're helping consumers be able to you don't have to put so much money up front right now because maybe they don't have that much up front. We really have to make decisions with money right now. Okay, cool. I know what problem y'all solve. I can see how this is something that's gonna be around for a long time, not a good time. But now, who do y'all work with? Because like, what's y'all's plans? Where y'all gonna go? Have y'all when the last time somebody invited you out and then your first question was who all gonna be there? And if it's just one person that just messy, just kill the vibe every time you there, you probably yeah, man, I ain't even gonna be able to make it tonight. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, fam. I can't do it. I got plans. But if it's you here and it's everybody that you vibe with, yeah. What time you want me to pull up? Bet. Y'all got to do the same thing with these companies. Okay? Because I'm not going. I'm not going. When my friends be like, hey, girl, you want to come over? I'll be like, did you get a babysitter? No, I'm sick. I'm sick. Because then I'm going to come over and I'm going to end up being the babysitter. No, thanks. I want to come over and do adult things. Where's the bottle of wine? Where's the champagne? You know? I'm very much so, hey, who all going to be there? Who you hang with? What's on the menu? What's going on with this? So we want to do the same thing with these companies. Y'all feel what I'm saying? One for yes, two for no. All right. So let's talk about like how they IPO here a little bit. And it stands for the initial public offering. And it's their debut to the stock market stage. Woo, woo, woo. So I remember we was talking about our little barbecue joint. The IPO would be it's like throwing like a grand opening, but instead of offering food, some ribs, some little pork, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna offer ownership. The investors are gonna show up with money and get a slice of my business of our barbecue joint in return. So they raising much like what we were just talking about, like with Stripe or with Klarna, right? They're raising money without taking on debt. Because whether you have an investor, whether you going to the bank, even whether you do an S block, which I got to talk to a lot of y'all about S blocks last week, a security backed line of credit. Even if we talking about which is you can get a line of credit from your own portfolio. We'll definitely hit on that in the afternoon session. But like even if I do that, I'm still putting myself in debt because it's another bill to pay back, right? So to go public, shit, I'm using your money. It's also so that I can scale my operations. So much like what we're talking with Klarna, I love how Charity said, like, it sounds like they're gonna have to start doing some reporting to the credit. Yeah. So now let's see who is that. And are they publicly traded? What bank they using? And that bank is going to be able to help them to expand. Because now we're able to get you out the way. Now we see that they're not playing. Oh, we got to pay this back every 2 weeks. Got it, got it, got it. That's going to increase their revenue, their profits. Well, let's say their net profit, not even just gross profit, but their net profit, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to increase their credibility. Because right now, y'all a joke. I see that online all the time. People talking about that. They be like, well, and I ain't gonna hold y'all. It's been a couple times where somebody be like, man, I ain't really got it, but I really need to come to your mentorship. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna use the buy now, pay later option? They be like, hell yeah, but I'm just worried I'm not gonna make that payment. I'd be like, I just want you to know they don't report that to your credit. I'm just kind of letting you know right now. You know, it's been a couple times I've done that. Judge your mammy, not me. Yeah, we take them as a joke right now. It's just known. So it's going to increase their visibility as well. And honestly, sometimes it's to let early investors or founders cash out. So, like Facebook, which is Meta now, right? But they IPO'd in 2012. When they IPO'd, they raised over $16 billion in one day. In one day. Now, I graduated high school in 2010. I know I had Facebook when I was in middle school. So that would have been like 06. Why can't I count? 05. We'll say like that, right? If I graduated in 2010, so I got in high school 2008. What? 6. Never mind, moving on. I know how to invest. Don't need to do this in my head. So they did that. What I'm trying to say is Facebook been around. I was in college when they IPO'd. Hell yeah, they raised $16 billion in one day. That was the main social media platform, and they owned Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And WhatsApp was out then. $16 billion in one day. And they used that. Oh, I'm sorry, they didn't have Instagram and WhatsApp yet. I'm sorry. It was Facebook. And then what was that? Vine or one of those apps that was kind of like TikTok before TikTok. But anyways, so with that $16 billion that they made, I promise you, if you go do your due diligence, research it. A year after Facebook IPO'd is when Instagram came. That's when they were able to aggressively scale Instagram. And then that's when they acquired WhatsApp. And they didn't have to take on debt. They just needed to go public. And we came in and got excited. So I'm going to talk about like liquidity too while I'm on this slide, because we're going to talk about that a lot this afternoon. But liquidity is just the ability to easily convert something into cash. So the IPO, it gives early investors a way to turn their investment into money. That's it. So a shareholder is when you buy a company's stock, you become a shareholder. That just means that you own a share or a piece of the company. So you've entered a legal relationship with that business. It's not symbolic. Like you legally own a very small portion. Well, let me not say that. You legally own a small portion of that company's assets and their profits. So it may be like one millionth of the business, but it's still yours. You're gonna have retail investors, which is everyday people like you and I, you and me. You're gonna have institutional investors, and those are the big players, the pensions and hedge funds and mutual funds. And then you're gonna have the insiders, which is the company founders, the executives, the employees who are receiving stock as compensation. So depending on the type of stock that you own, you might have voting rights, which is like a say in the company. You might get dividends, which is a share of the profits paid out. You're definitely going to get capital gains if it's a great company. And that's just the ability to sell your stock for more than what you paid. So maybe your initial investment was $100 into Klarna. Klarna start checking credit. They're able to net more, not just have a high gross profit, but they're able to have a very high net profit that's continuing to grow every year. In the next 2 years, we're going to say Klarna it increased by $200, right? Your capital gains is $200. We love that. We love that. And check the chat, make sure I'm not going too fast. Okay, period. So we've talked about what's being traded and who's involved and how we can even get how a company can even become public in the first place. So now we need to talk about where it happens, right? We got the who, the what, the why. So let's go where? The stock exchange. Like we had already covered, it's just a marketplace where investors can buy and sell shares of publicly traded companies. And we have the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. So the analogy that I like to give is, let's say we're at a Toni Braxton concert, Toni Living Legend Braxton. And the stock exchange is the stage that queen is on. That's her residency. That's her Vegas residency. Okay. Each company or each one of her backup singers and dancers, they each get their own spotlight. But the exchange, that sets the rules, the security, and the flow. We're here for Living Legend Toni Braxton. Let's be real. I'm not here for you, Trina. Let's just be real. I'm not really here for you, Tam. Well, no, I'm not really here for you, Tawanda. You know, I'm here for the exchange. You know? So it's just a centralized platform that facilitates the buying and the selling. It's it makes sure that there's fair pricing and transparency, and just it punishes people, it rewards them, all that good stuff there. Now, the market players, this is going to lead us directly into our next session, but the market players, these just the people that run it. Okay, so we talked about the retail investors, you and I. We're doing this so that we can grow wealth, save for retirement, and build a portfolio. The institutional investors, like we said, these are the heavy hitters. They move in billions, if really trillions, within a year. So this is the banks, the hedge funds, the insurance companies, the pensions, the people that you paying out to your 401k, all that. This thing. And then the market makers, because this is different. The institutional investors and the market makers are different. The market makers are firms that make sure that you can always buy or sell a stock. So they keep the system flowing. All right. They're the people that keep it flowing. Whereas the exchange, which we just covered those, is, New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, all that. Then you're going to have regulators. So we're going to have the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is the SEC. And then you're going to have FINRA, which is the financial, they keep the market honest and no fraud, enforce the laws. Like this who Roaring Kitty has put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of Roaring Kitty, put a 2 if not. Y'all heard of that man? Oh, Roaring Kitty. Right. This who got him in trouble, or this who he got in trouble with, is FINRA. Because it was like, hey, sir, you're not one of us. You're a retail trader. You're not supposed to be in here manipulating the market like this. That's what we do. Okay. Now you're also gonna have the companies because they're the ones that's selling the stock. Dude, we need them. They want us to. They need us to invest in them. They need us to okay, so that they can grow their business. And then now this one I didn't write it on here. I actually took it off, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I'm with my girls. Another market player is the media. It's the media. They're not official, but they influence sentiment. Let's be real. Most people don't read the full article. They read the headline. So what they say, what they put out, very much so impacts prices. You know what I'm saying? Like it very much so impacts prices. And so the market, it wasn't built for beginners, but it was built for the hustler to be able to pull a seat up at the table. Oh, I think that was a bar. It wasn't meant for beginners, but it was built so that the everyday person would be able to pull a seat up at the table. Right? The trick is understanding who's already there and what role you want to play. That's what's important. And we talked about this. Growth costs money. We back at the barbecue joint. We run in one successful restaurant, but we want to open five more. That means there's going to be rent, staff, equipment, marketing, all that adds up. And so, what could we do? If we don't become public, we could go borrow from a bank. We got to pay interest. We could use our savings if we have enough. We could sell stock to raise capital. When we own it, we already know we have the voting rights. We get the dividends. We got a piece of the pie. I know I'm kind of going through it right now, but we're about to get into the next session. We own a piece of the pie, right? So how the money flows is that a company goes public to raise money. They issue shares. We buy those shares. The company then uses the money to grow, open more stores, hire more people, build more products. And if they do well, the demand for their stock increases and the price is going to raise. We can sell our shares at a profit, collect the dividends along the way. I'm not mad at it. Our job as an investor is to just understand what moves that price and why owning a good business good businesses can multiply your wealth, and understanding the questions that we have to ask, how we have to look at them. What problem do they solve? Who do they work with? Who are their friends? I say, I think everyone in here probably has kids, got kids, nieces, nephews, whatever it is. Y'all ever are they at the age where they start to talk about like little girls, little boys, and stuff? And this might just be me, but I'm very much so. Who they mama? Who they people? What's their last name? Oh, is this what their mama look like? I got to know because the apple never falls far from the tree. Birds of a feather flock together. All those analogies, right? I need to know who y'all. Who I need to know. Would you invest in a company? Would you invest in a US based company that had miners working in the warehouse? Would you invest in a US based company that had miners working in the warehouse? You would. Somebody called a loss. I would not. But then we had to turn around and say, well, are you sure? Are you sure you wouldn't? Because let's look at Apple. In India, there's teenagers working in those warehouses building our phone. Are you okay with that? Because it's not US soil and that's their law, right? It's not illegal over there. So are we okay with that? I'm really asking you. I'm really asking. Why is it okay to know, like, yeah. I'm gonna give y'all a sec to think that through a bit. Yeah, I really want to know the response to that before we move on to our next section. Oh, I'll wait. If y'all don't know, I'll wait. It was The question was, would you invest in a company that had miners working in the warehouse, building the products? Would you invest in a US-based company that had miners working in the warehouse? It's not okay in any place. It has only been accepted outside because we supposedly have a thing called human rights here. It's a tough question. I know it's a tough question. There's no wrong or right answer because at the end of the day, babes, you are investing in a company that has miners working in the warehouse. There you go, Miss Patrice. You are. We're all capitalists. I promise you, nothing special. We're all capitalists. We're all a part of the game. Are they treated fairly? What are the conditions? Their families might need the money. It's also legal. Overseas, it's legal. The working age is 13 in Indonesia. So it's just, things that we want to think about. Like when we go into these companies like that, like what it means to own. Is it a dirty game? Is it? Because in the US, the legal working age used to be 13. 13-year-old, 14-year-olds. When I was growing up, a 14-year-old could get a job at Chick-fil-A. And I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 91. So that was literally just 34 years ago. Just, well, not even that, because this was when I was a teenager, right? So we'll say 15 years ago. A 14-year-old could get a job in the US. I bet you I was still eating them waffle fries 14 years ago. I bet you were. Let it be selective. Worry about what does the company do, right? There's no emotions. There's no crying in baseball, and there's no emotions in investing, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, it's all capitalism. It's all, if you look deep enough into it, they all doing something shady. You look deep enough into me, I'm doing something shady. It depends who you ask. And I'm not saying this, I don't want to hear nobody in the chat be like, you ain't doing that. Because I know. And I know that y'all know, right? But if you dig deep enough, I'm a Black woman who charges people who look like me to come learn what I know. You ask the right group of people, that's shady. You ask the right group of people, that's shady. I should put my people on. So I take the dirty money and clean it, make it for good, right? Pay your tithes, bro. Move on from it. But all right, y'all. So that is our first hour there, and we're gonna then segue into some trading strategies now. But I see them rolling on in. But let me make sure from my hour one from our live event here. Did y'all get y'all's? Y'all should be on page 12 now. And y'all go ahead and fill out. And then what I want y'all to do here on Zoom as well is I want you all to write down. No, you're good. Y'all are good. We merged this on purpose. What I want you all to do is to write down. You're gonna have two separate lists of 5. On your first list, you're gonna write 5 companies that you spend money on because you have to. This is my favorite thing to tell people to do. One of them. You're gonna write out 5 companies that you spend money on. No, page 12. Oh, is that 14? I'm sorry, y'all. 14. You write down 5 things that you spend money on because you have to. Then I want you to write another list that has 5 things that you spend money on because you want to, and they are not yet publicly traded. They are privately owned companies that you spend money on because you want to. For example, Sonic. Sonic has the best Diet Coke in the world to me. They have the best Diet Coke. I love the Sonic ice. I like the little ice, all that, right? I spend money at Sonic because I want to, but they are not publicly traded. It is a privately owned company. Now, why do I want y'all to write this list down? Because I'm not bad. That 1 or 2 things is gonna happen when you look at the list of things when you look at the list of private companies. 1, you're gonna find out that they have plans to IPO. They are currently trying to raise the funds. Or 2, you will find a direct competitor to them who already is public. Okay, So it's just a really good exercise to just get y'all familiar with what is and is not a public company because there's hundreds of thousands of companies in the US and there's only 9,000 publicly traded companies, a little over 9,000 publicly traded companies. So getting a piece of pie everywhere. All right. So we're going to go ahead and take a pause while y'all fill that out. Y'all fill that out on this end as well. And then we're going to go ahead and pull up and get into how we can start trading and looking into that. All right. Y'all feel good? We feel good so far? Good morning, Vaughn. Hey, Trisha. Hey, Miss Patrice. Hey, Kaiden. Hey, Jazz. Hi, babes. Am I in the right class? Yes, you are. So I'm actually running 4 classes concurrently today, not consecutively, concurrently. I think some of y'all was asking me last week, like, isn't trading strategies going on at the same time? I got this. I got this. Okay, beautiful. So I'm just giving them, we're going to get started here in 6 minutes at 11:10, 12:10 Eastern with that one. All right. But I'm still here and y'all talk in the chat, all that stuff. I'm just going to mute while I go around here and make sure that they're filling out their workbooks correctly. And also for the ones who registered for the live event, y'all will have with the recording, you're going to have the digital workbook, you're going to have a copy of my ebook, and I also am going to give y'all access to the second semester classes of Stock Market Foundation. Just because I just appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Purr. Hi. Do you have a pen? Do you need a pen? I'm gonna mute this right here and then get you a pen. Of course, Charity, I love y'all. Anybody who support me, I'll be like, man, what's up? Yeah, Fiddy here too. Okay, I'm about to mute real quick, Fiddy. I'm gonna go around and get these workbooks. No, I did not mean. And I was in, thank you, Tony. All right. What do we notice with these candles? Because I'm glad y'all didn't hear them. What do we notice with these last three candles? Well, okay, back up. The chart that we are currently looking at is Walmart. And I am looking at Walmart on the 3-month chart. So each one of these candles on the screen is showing me the open, high, low, and closing price of Walmart for 3 months. I call it the quarterly chart. Cool. What do we notice about these last three candles versus the last 10 years of price? Something really big. So a couple big things. So these are the last 3 months of price versus we start here, 2015, going all the way up. What do we notice? So I'll tell y'all here on this end, I don't know if y'all can hear them, but here on this end, someone said that the candles are bigger. Very true. These candles came in much more volume, exactly, which is why. So volume for my babies here, volume is just the amount of trades that are happening. And the more trades that happen, the bigger the candles. So you're right. You're very right. You was right. Nah, Queen, you was right. You right. You good. She been with me for a minute. So, but we're gonna talk about volume in the afternoon session and just more trading terminology and all of that. But for right now, I just want y'all to visually see. Yeah, these candles are larger, more volume. What else? There's one big thing that I want y'all to note. What is that? From 2015 into 2000, these last three candles of 2025. What's been happening? It was doing what? Now it's doing what? All right. Somebody on this end said the candles aren't going up anymore. Exactly that. When has Walmart not trended? There's one other place on this chart that Walmart has not trended. Price was moving up, now it's consolidating, period, Miss Patrice, thank you. This is the only other place that it was not trending and just going straight up. When was the year? 2020. What does 2020 and 2025 have in common? Well, we'll say 2019 and 2025. What do they have in common? It's one thing. It's a noun. Trump. Trump. I'm taking y'all down a rabbit hole. I just want y'all to think it through with me, right? Y'all see where I'm going with this? I'm looking at Walmart. The only times Walmart has not trended was in 2019, 2020, and 2025. The end of 2024 and all of 2025. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Let me know. Put a 4 in the chat if you don't. Because then I like open-ended questions, but y'all know that. But put a 4 in the chat if you don't. Put a 1 if you feel me. Period. Y'all see where I'm going with it. I love that for us. I love that for all of us. It's absolutely fascinating. So I know with the trading strategies, we was gonna go in order from scalping on up. What happened last week? Yeah, no, I need y'all up here on this higher time frame chart. I need y'all up here. Right now, with everything that is going on in the economy, this is not, hear me close, my babes. This ain't that. This ain't that. This is not a trading because a trade is a quick transaction. We make a quick trade. We trade in some Pokemon cards. I give you my Pikachu, you give me your Zorba. Yes, I just bought Pokemon up. Yes, I still have some mint condition Pokemon cards. Not that you asked, but that's a quick trade, right? Here you go, hand it here. Very quick transaction. Do we want to do quick transactions in an economy that is pivoting every day? I love Pokemon, you know. Do we want to do quick transactions with an economy that is changing every day? Or do we want to set ourselves up for the long term? I'm trying to tell y'all, babes, this is not. And I've never been in an economy like this. Y'all ain't been in an economy like this. Neither have I. I have never traded in an economy like this. Neither have y'all. What I absolutely understand from experience is that I bet not. I bet not be up in here trying to do the short term game. I can't make short term decisions when someone still has 3.5 years of control, right? So I need to be making decisions that will last me for a year to 2 years to 3 years. I had an economics teacher, or was he? I think it was a politics teacher, political science, a poli sci teacher once, and the way he explained the like the presidency to us, it always stuck with me. He said that the presidency, like depending on what side of the aisle we're on, it's much like the pendulum in a grandfather clock. When you swing too far right, that sucker gonna go back left. When it swing too far to the left, that sucker swing back right. And if you look at the presidents that we've never had just like 4 Republicans in a row, right? After about like 2 terms of Republicans, the Democrats start to stand up. They start to get the hell up. They start to mobilize. We're sick of this. It's been 8 years of this. You're gonna have a Democratic candidate. Typically, is not even typically, they just do. Again, I encourage you all to look at the last 20 presidents. We can't do all 45, but look at the last 20 presidents. We never have a Republican more than 2 terms. We never have a Democrat more than 2 terms. You go too right, you go left. You go too left, you go right. All right. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure after these mother sucking shenanigans, okay, after that silk press funeral we had to go through, okay, I just don't really see that we're gonna have another Republican up in there. Eh, I want this. I want this. Okay. Consumer staples, I want it. Consumer staples, I see y'all not finna do well these next few years. I see that because I see who up in that office. Am I saying this in a negative way? No. Could it be received in a negative way? Yes. I love you, Miss Mary. Could it be received in a negative way? Yes. Am I making the decision to say, it is what it is. I see what's coming. I see what I need to do. Damn, I'm gonna be able to walk by Walmart pretty affordably. Yes, I absolutely do. Consumer staples is gonna make us a lot of money during this administration, y'all. Not right now, but we're gonna be able to buy it on sale. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm still advising people. I have mentees who are buying Target. I'm not judging because I own Geo Civic. This is a private detention center. Don't judge me. So I'm not judging if you buy Target, right? I understand that Target is an amazing company. Well, Target is an amazing financially, Target is an amazing company. I can't say nothing about the morals because then they could look at me and be like, but you're a Black woman who owns a prison. I'll be like, mind your business. And I'm on my mind, right? But anyways, so I have nothing to say about it. I'm just going to say consumer staples. I love it. I really want y'all to focus on XLP. But now let's get into the strategy that I wanted to show y'all. So here on the 3-month chart. Oh, hold on. I have a question here in person. What'd you say? Ooh, how do we know if we should buy Walmart or Target? Or should we buy, or you ask, okay, okay, not the thinking hat on. Should we buy Walmart or Target? Girl, it's a personal decision. Which one do you shop at the most? Who makes the most money? Look it up. We're gonna have a session definitely, right? Because like I said, afternoon is all trading and all that. Look it up. Who makes the most money every year? You could literally just type it. What is Walmart? What was Walmart's revenue? What was Walmart and Target's revenue in 2024? Go to ChatGPT or Perplexity, ask it just real quick. You can even ask Siri, and the answer should pull up for you pretty quickly because Google has that AI system now. Boom. I want to go with who makes the most money. Right now, is the average everyday consumer, we're kind of going in there with a list, with a real strict list, ain't we? Or can you go in with a real strict? You can go in with a real strict list in Walmart and stay under budget. Can you do that at Target? Also, would we say, and I'm talking to everybody virtually and here, is Target a direct competitor to Walmart? And if not, who is? I would not say they're a direct competitor. I wouldn't. Mm-mm. Yes, it is. Target is only in the US. Yes, ma'am. I love that. There you go, Tony. Yes. So Walmart is almost a monopoly. Yes. Yes. Target is a US based company. Yes. So who has larger or who has a wider visibility? Therefore, credibility? Yes. I would say that Amazon, let's go. Who said that? Miss Patricia, of course, Miss Patricia. Yeah. I would say that Amazon is Walmart's direct competitor. Absolutely. Well, because Walmart, we can go on Amazon and buy food, medicine, groceries, clothes, electronics. We can go to Walmart, buy food, clothes, electronics, toys, books. Same thing as Amazon. One's just online, right? Amazon came in and said, well, Sam Walton already has a monopoly on the, I'm sure Walmart does sell tires. Let's look at it. Let's look. Wait, did you say Walmart or Amazon? Because I know Walmart do. She said Amazon. Does Amazon sell tires? Let's look. Oh, I'll pull it up here so that we can. This is Walmart's direct competitor. They're just e-commerce. That's crazy. Yeah. Fun fact, you guys. Amazon sells tires. Walmart has an open market as well. Yes, I think they do. You know who else sells tires? Costco. They don't install. They sell houses. They sell the tiny houses. Yeah. Period. Right. But so let's get into this strategy, y'all. Let's get into this strategy. I got just about 30 minutes left with y'all for the strategy. And also, let me say this before I go. If anybody who came in from trading strategies, y'all are academy students, I'm cool with it. If y'all want to join the afternoon session that starts at 1:30, just shoot Phoebe a message here in this chat. Don't overwhelm them in the Discord. You just shoot her a message. I'll make sure that you're in the email chain and y'all can join this afternoon as well. But let's get into this, my babes. Let's get into this. I'm going to do a replay here. Now, what we want to do is much like the orb strategy that we learned last week, right? Something that I also wanted to say too is that the open range breakout, because we went over there, but we learned it from a scalping point of view. Every strategy, they all are dependent upon a breakout and a retest. Have y'all realized that? I want y'all to think about that. Think about every strategy that you know, and then confirm or deny to me in the chat. They all are dependent on a breakout and then a retest. Agree? Oh my gosh, Alex, Coach A. Because not Alex. Oh my gosh, Coach A. Are you telling us that all we need to do is wait on price to break out and then wait on price to retest it on all time frames? That's it. That's all. And we'll always make money. That's it. Yeah. Anywho, don't y'all love when I do those sarcastic hypothetical questions? It's my fave. The low is 49.85. The open was 53.16. Oh, yeah. The close was 52.55. And the high was 56.65. Right. I am taking the range of the previous quarter. That's it. And we're gonna slow this down so I can talk through it. It's gonna move very slow, babes. Now we have two entries right now because the new quarter opened. We can wait for a break above the open of the previous quarter, or we can wait for a break below the close of the previous quarter. Mind you, I'm on the 3-month chart. How long would you assume that we'd be able to hold that trade? And I'm gonna give y'all some options. Which one do you think? 2 weeks, 1 month, 2.5 months. Getting the signal off the 3-month chart. Would I be looking to hold this trade for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or 2.5 months? Yeah, I got a 2.5 month. Okay. 2.5 months, 2.5 months. I would say comfortably the 4. I would want y'all to kind of say that, but yeah, we're going into the 2.5. Comfortably the 4 is what I want y'all to say, but into the 2.5. Absolutely. So this ain't a little bitty signal. So guess what you don't get to do? You don't get to go to the daily. I'm on the 3-month chart. You can go to the monthly and you can go to the weekly. You don't get to go to the daily. Let me say that again. You do not get to go to the daily with this strat. You do not. You do not. You don't. You just don't. Nunca. Never. Never, ever, ever will you go down to the daily chart or below. Never. But what about I said never? Yeah, but what about when I said never? The lowest time frame that you can go to is the weekly because we are now looking at a quarterly chart. You can look at the weekly, you can look at the monthly. If you bring your butt down there to the daily, you just effed yourself. We tracking? I want to make sure that I want to make sure y'all walk away remembering that you do not get to go to the daily after being up here on the 3-month quarterly chart. Okay, per. All right. So we see the options that we have here. So let's play that out. We're gonna wait for it to break or go below. So it's like, okay, boom. We got this reject off the 53.16. Let's drop down to the weekly. Mind you, even when the sucker dropped down here. Well, I'm sorry, that was the end of that quarter. We right here. So it come here. And instead of peaking above there, or it peaked above there, but it didn't stack because I'm on the weekly. We got this nasty little reject. It attempted to go up. We would have wanted a weekly close above the quarterly open, right? Not a daily. It's going to have to be a weekly candle above here. Instead, it rejected. You start to see it reject, and then you get this weekly close below the close of the quarterly candle. Child, what y'all think we're going to do? Swing that sucker. Okay. So what happened? Because I was all like, oh y'all, it's a weekly close, it's a weekly close, it's a weekly close. What's the first thing that I said when we first started pulling this up? All strategies need a what and a what? In all strategies, we waiting on price to what? Break and retest. Was there a retest? No, there was a breakout of the range. And then the next week, the sucker immediately take it back. And now we got the weekly close above there. Now you get this weekly close above there. Now we getting somewhere. Now we getting somewhere. Now what do you do? Let's say we're in this swing trade. It hits the previous high. What do you do? If you have two contracts, what do you do? Scale. Thank you. Very good. If you have one contract, what do you do? You sell it. Thank you very much. So, and when you're ready to get back in for calls, we would have to see what? If we sell, because we got a nice little run up from 53 to 56. So then it gets to the previous high. And we say, all right, bet. You want to get back in for calls. Do we enter as soon as it breaks 56.65? Or do we wait on this? Do we make sure that it's going to hold this as support? Period. This is when you get back in. That is when you get back in, when it holds it as support, or you get the break of structure here at the top, right? Whichever one, however you play it out, but we. Mm-mm. I didn't want to move, right? Let's keep going. Way too difficult. Oh my goodness. Now, mind you, if you scaled out and you just had one, your stop loss would be if it closed back below here, the breakout level. And we already know what this sucker ends up doing, right? I'm gonna speed it up and oops. Dang, did I finish it? Yeah, shoot. We went there, we went to breakout. And then let's go here. All right. So we have this, and now let's go back to the 3-month chart. For the 9 to 5ers, I'm trying to tell you. All right, babes. Is this 3-month chart there? Because we done broke that. We rocking and rolling. You could come to the monthly. You straight. You good. We rocking and rolling. And let's come back. And now we're gonna mark off because then we're gonna mark off the range for this 3-month chart. Is this, oh, okay, let me pause this. That's a really good question. No, this is swing trading. We're still trading, but we're swinging out. So visually think about when you're on a swing, like at the playground, and you pump your legs back. And like the further back you pump your legs and the more momentum you give yourself, right? Like when you swing your legs back out, the higher you're gonna go. So it's the same thing like this. Like when we just like look at the big picture and we wait for price to pull back and gain enough momentum to swing out, we can go up higher with the price. Versus if we just kind of like kicking our feet, that's more like a okay, we're gonna stay right here in this range. With the swing trade, we busting up our feet going up above the little poles over our heads type thing. That makes sense? You sure? Okay. So this is like we holding this. And because can y'all see the chat over there? Like you see right here, Vaughn says, for this is fire for the 9 to 5ers. And then Miss Patrice says, because Miss Patrice is oh, I don't care. What she gonna do? Beat me up. Miss Patrice is an accountant, CPA, taxes, all that good stuff. I always say her title wrong, but she's everything and all of that. She ain't got no time to be day trading because she got people calling her about her taxes all the time. Why are you day trading, man? Come to this 3 month chart. Get in once a quarter and then just sit back and ride. Just get in once a quarter, sit back and ride. So yeah, this is perfect because what did I start this session off by saying? This what did we all just agree to? This is not a short-term transaction market. This is not a short-term transaction administration because this is a flip-floppy administration, right? So hold your horses this long because I promise you, I used to think that I would make more money if I was coming in with a goal to make $1,000 a day. You're not gonna make $1,000 a day 220 days in a row. Warren Buffett don't even do that. Right? Warren Buffett takes losses throughout the year. You will not come to the market and win every single day. You just won't. You literally just won't. Not because you're not good. You just won't. It's statistics. It's probability. It's just facts, right? Doing this because I'm coming in less and I'm just waiting for the momentum, the long term momentum plays, it increases my probability that I'm going to have less losses than the person who comes to the casino every day. You feel me? I'm just trying to come to the casino once a quarter, get my little social security check, put it on a blackjack table, and go away. Whereas Susie Q down there, she over there trying to go to the penny slot machine every day, and by the end of the fiscal year, baby, you don't lost $30,000 up in this casino. It ain't been able to buy nothing but a smack of poke, a pack of smokes. My bad, y'all. I took my Aunt Mildred to the casino last night. You gotta the analogies be analogying. Okay, that lady had, well, as she calls it, run me up to this casino. Run me up to the casino real quick. Okay. And I'll be like, hey, Mildred, you finna lose my money on these penny slots, on these penny machines. But you know what? Go have your short-term fun. That's okay. Because I'm over here on the market playing this long-term game so that you can go up to the casino with your Newport longs, with your cancer. No, I'm just waiting. Let me stop. No, y'all ain't Mildred. She's 70. Well, let me see, Carrie. You know her. That's Anna's grandmother. My second cousin. Yeah. And she is 79 or 80. Too damn old to be at the casino. Basically. Every day stresses me out so much. I would probably lose everything anyway. Exactly. Okay, because of the daily meetings I have, I can't trade daily. I can barely do short swings. Mm, do you feel me? Period. I love the interact. She's been telling me this for a long time. What? Oh, that you can't beat me up. You can't. What are you gonna do? I'm always gonna call your name out. Y'all, she my mentor too. Matter of fact, let's go. I want everyone to follow this page on Instagram. He is going to be teaching at the academy very, very, very soon. Now, I'm not telling y'all to go. Y'all see, I was looking at the Christmas. Now, I'm not telling y'all to go in there and like use her for, because I don't even know what state she lives in, honestly. So I'm not saying go up in there and like use her for her services, but I am saying that she has a newsletter that I definitely suggest that you subscribe to. This is my mentor. So y'all know if I'm gonna tell y'all about her, make sure y'all follow that on Instagram. All right. Y'all got that? Let me know if you need me to pull it back up later. Anyways, back over here because let's finish playing this next quarter out. She give you a discount too. Just tell her I sent you. Alright. Now I'm gonna adjust these lines for our new for this. These aren't exact, right? But y'all gonna feel me. Y'all feel me where y'all feeling me. Okay. And let's just hop back down to the monthly time frame. She gonna keep you 5. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. Okay. All right. So we have the our 4 points for the previous quarter. Let me go back. Did you? Oh, I didn't do mine exact. So yours are probably, if you put yours exactly, did you look at the, yeah, so I didn't do mine exact. I just kind of put them on the area to go quicker, but be better than me. Yes. Line it up and put it on the exact levels. No, look right here in the top left, right here under where it says Walmart. You see I have the OHLC, that's open, high, low, close. Mhm. And then all I did was I double tap it. Oops. Well, I can just do it here. I double tap it. This pulls it up, and I can, under the coordinates, I can go in and change it like specifically. So this previous quarter right here closed at 60.17. So I can just double tap that. And boom, it's on there exactly, right? I just was kind of going quicker with it to, but be better than me, right? But so now, because I marked this one off here, and yeah, I know that one kind of took off on us, but let's drop down to the monthly and look. Because this is April, the start of the second quarter. We got January, February, March. Now we're in April, May, June. So these next 3 candles, we want to watch what they do. So we see we got this candle, this monthly candle closed back below 59.35 or the 60.17, the close of the first quarter of the year. Interesting. Now, mind you, let's say in 2023, the market was going straight up. We was heading into 2024, the market was still going straight up. So for the year, we were expecting for Walmart to do very well or not well at all. Which one? In 2024, yeah, we was expecting it to do well. So when I'm looking at this quarterly chart, so you know how usually when we look at a 5 minute chart or a 15 minute chart, we kind of go like, oh, 3 of these 5 minute candles equals one 15 minute candle. When I'm on the quarterly chart, I understand that 4 candles equals 1 year. It's gonna be a red candle somewhere up in there. It's gonna pull back somewhere up in that year, right? All right. But I'm exceptionally bullish on that sucker though, right? All right. So would I have taken that pullback, like as someone who has a 9 to 5 and I'm just trying to swing the long term game? No. Mm-mm. If I wouldn't have. I would have had an alert set at 61.64 though. I tell you what. I tell you that. Mm, 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 mm. Let's drop down to the weekly. Mm. I tell you what, I would have had an alert set at 61.64. I tell you what. I tell you what. I would have an alert set at 61.64. I tell you what. Now let's say that I would have had runners from the first quarter. This sucker never stopped me out. I never got stopped out. I'm in a leap, never getting stopped out. But I'm gonna take profit. I'm gonna scale out every time it hits the high of the previous quarter. But it ain't nothing telling me to get out. It's 2024. Walmart doing good. I'm in this thing. Let's go back to the monthly. Because now this is April, May, June. We got one more candle. Oh, this is something else I want to look at. So this quarterly candle was May. This quarterly candle is May. This quarterly candle is May. This quarterly candle is May. And again in May. Now, the majority of these May quarterly candle or monthly candles, I'm sorry, seasonality. There we go. Seasonality, babes. Y'all with me? Y'all know I'm real open-ended with it sometimes. So let me know. Y'all with me? 1 for yes, 4 for no. And if it's a 4, if it's a no, say no. Don't nobody know y'all except me. Y'all with me? Heck no, I'm not gonna get stopped out up here on the monthly and quarterly chart when I know that Walmart makes more money over the summer. This when their revenue really kick in. Why? Because they putting out all the holiday stuff, like all the summer holiday stuff, and they getting that back to school revenue. Heck no, I want to get out. Can you take profit even if you are in it long term? Absolutely. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. And you know what we should also be doing? What should we also be doing? With the understanding of seasonality, the understanding of what's happening up here on these higher time frames, what else should we be doing with Walmart right now? We in that leap, but we also in what? Or swing trade, buying shares. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you. Buy and hold, look ahead. Thank you. Y'all, I've taught all of them that are responding. So just know that when I upsell y'all at the end of this class to come join my mentorship, look how smart they all are. Okay. You too can be as brave as Miss Patrice and Miss Mary and Vaughn. You too. Okay. And thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, the academy. I'm definitely upselling y'all in the academy. You cannot join my mentorship. Sorry, I love you. Let's continue. All right. Cause shoot, now that's that June candle. We're going into July. Absolutely crazy. Cause I sure will get some Target trades to go buy Costco shares. Rob Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, I have to. Yeah. A lot of these stocks that prestigious calls out, like the Big Bear, I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about these quantum stocks. I see what you're saying. Let me make a lot of money over here on the affordable plays, and I'm turning it. And what washes my right hand is, where lets my right hand wash my left. There you go. Because I think robbing Peter to pay Paul was the wrong phrase. That's when you doing too much. But let my right hand wash my left. Mm-hmm. Girl, yeah, you own it. It's ownership. You can't tell me what to do after I own something. It's mine. Just think about when you think about ownership in the stock market, I don't know, just think about Django. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm recording, you know what I'm saying? I'm recording now. You do whatever you want. They was doing whatever they wanted in Django, okay? Okay. All right now. Ownership. I do whatever I want. If I want to sell Target so I can go buy Costco, and Target should have kept your word. Filthy liars. Oh, my bad, y'all. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Because if you know, I love me some Target. My two of my favorite investments have just disappointed me this year. Target and Starbucks. No, Starbucks. Girl, I can't say it no louder. Starbucks. Starbucks. I can't say it out loud. I don't want the CEO to hear me. I don't want him to hear me like somewhere and be like, I don't want nobody to know that they've disappointed me. Mom, not Elf. Elf doing what they need to do. They need to do. But Starbucks, they out here doing too much, so I gotta whisper it. That's what I'm saying. My man gonna hear me. I had to be quiet, y'all. Oh my God, not my man. Okay. Okay, so now we have a new quarter. Ain't been stopped out. Ain't been stopped out. I know that's not great English, but we'll be all right. Ain't been stopped out. Ain't been stopped out. Yeah, because we got to come here to the monthly because the new 3 month chart is about to open. But of course, we see where it's going. But let me drop back down to the monthly because we have this quarter marked off from April, May, June. So now this is July. It's attempting to break up over here a little bit. We could drop down to the weekly, right? We could drop down to the weekly. Give me a weekly close over there. And I'm staying in that thing. If I didn't have runners and I'm looking to enter, give me a weekly close and then a confirmed the next candle, the next week, confirm that it's closing higher. I'm in that thing because it's 2024. I'm playing the long term game. My contract that I bought in January expires in September of 2024, or it expires in January of 2025. But I bet you one thing though, if I was swinging Walmart, and I bet if you go back and you look through the Discord, you would see this. I guarantee you, with how far I was looking ahead, all you gotta do is backtrack. Just type in Walmart in the Discord in the search bar. And you're gonna see in November, I started telling all of y'all to exit consumer staples. Why? We just looked at what happened to consumer staples in 2019, 2020, right? The same crooked mofo was in charge then. Oh, okay. That was already put out there. Get on up out of consumer staples, Miss Patrice. All right. Buy it now and then sit back, Miss Patrice. All right. All right. We get to just do more thinking up here. Really? More thinking, less work. More common sense, less work. I'll say it like that. All right. Now we getting some higher, some high, some highness, some higherness. Okay. Okay. And it came and did what? Oof, oof. It came and it held it. It came and it held that exact good gosh darn mother sucking level. I love the technicals, y'all. I love it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at you're real big. So I know y'all, so I know some of y'all like 50 something. You might have your, I don't know if y'all got your bifocals on. Look at that. Look at that. You got to. It's beautiful up here. It's less work up here. Real clear. Real clear, brother. Real clear. because it's less noise. July, August, September, and then we got October, November, December. All right, so September ended here. We go back to the 3-month chart. I'm just doing the same old thing, y'all. So now this is Q4 after that man got back in office, or when that man got back in office, or when that man was not. Y'all know what I'm saying? This up here, all right? So let's drop down to the monthly, and then we'll go to the weekly from there. Just the monthly. So this is September, the first month of the Q4. September. Oh no, last month of Q3. October, first month of Q4, right here. October, November, December. And it did what? And it did what? Child, open, close, came back above that same damn level. Ugh, it's beautiful. You only have to come look at this once every 3 months. And if you weren't already in, or if you had only bought one and you're trying to get back in, when your alert went off because it crossed above 8168, you better good gosh darn be in it. Okay? All right. Would we expect Walmart to do well during the holiday season or not well? And why do we expect them to do well? Oh, I know I got y'all attention now. Y'all answering quick. Yeah, I know when the class is good when y'all start answering quick. Okay, I'm gonna read the chat in a second. What's your name? Kibo, is this your son? Oh my God, I cannot believe this. How old are you now? How old are you? Your mom and I went to high school together. Girl, you old. Not you a mama. Looks ghetto. No, I'm just playing. No, okay, so why do you think why do you think Walmart does good during the holidays? No, so we're in Q4, so Q4 is the last. Let's say that you have 4 quarters in front of you. How much does 4 quarters equal? No, I sound like a simple but dead ass. Like how much does my bad, Kiva, I'm sorry. But for real, sorry. How much does 4 quarters $1? Period. Okay. So think of each quarter, like one of those quarters. Think of each one of those as what I'm saying over here, a quarter in a year. So if we have 4 quarters, how many months? And we got 12 months in a year. Each quarter is how many months? So this is division. Now we're doing division because you're going to take the 12 months in the year and divide it by these 4 quarters. How much is that? Period. So no, you said 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. Hold on, you had me down in myself. I can't do math like 3, 6, 9. Yeah. 3, 6, 9, 12. So when I'm saying I'm on the 3-month chart, each one of these candles is a quarter. And I need 4 quarters to make up the entire year, or 4 candles to make up the entire year. You feel me? So how many quarters makes up 6 months? 6. 2, period. How many quarters makes up 9 months? All right, all right, all right, all right. Not you smart, not you smart and shit. I mean, stuff. Not you smart and stuff. All right, all right, all right. Don't be cursing. Be better than me. Okay? Be better than me. All right, amen. Let's get back to this. So the holidays that I'm talking about is Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Why would Walmart do well then? Christmas. Exactly that. Good job. Y'all in the chat, because everybody over here like smiling at them and stuff. Y'all in the chat, drop some flowers. Because I just had a 15-year-old speak up and ask questions with all these adults in here. So y'all drop some flowers for him. That's lit. That's lit. I be trying not to curse in front of the group of kids. These ain't my kids. Look at these flowers they give me. These are all adults. They're learning with you. That's lit. I promise you 50 times better than all of us in here. Because I didn't learn this until I was in my 20s. And you're gonna already know this in your 20s. You feel me? So you way ahead of the game. That 15-year-old said, I'm ready where the money at, period. So I just wanted them all to give you your flowers because this lit. You're the youngest one in here and you asking questions. So I'm really proud of you. But moving on. Just that quick. Proud of you. Moving on. What you want, a cookie? No, I'm just playing. All right. So this is November. We into this. Holidays. We think they're gonna do well. It's the last month of the fiscal year, December 2024. What do we notice about the candle in December 2024? What do we notice about that candle? Yep, you're right. That's right, Carrie. Good job. Let me see it in the chat. What do we notice about the candle of December 2024? What sticks out to y'all? I got it here in person. What sticks out to y'all in the chat? We got a negative change in price. It closed lower. Good job, Miss Mary. That's simply it. We've been looking at red candles all year. At the end of the year, 3 weeks after that crooked mother sucker got into office, we get a red candle on consumer staples. And he started telling us in what month that he was going to do tariffs? In December of 2024? Okay. No, all right. Oh, all right. Oh, all right. Oh, all right. Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah. Huh. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? So let's go down to the weekly. We're going to drop down to the weekly. All right. And then start with January's. Okay. So this is the first week of January, right? Well, the next candle will be the first week of January. Mind you, we've never seen it scale back to one of these levels, right? To on the quarterly, this was the close. Let me put that better, position it better. Oh, wait. I put the thing on the wrong one. My apologies, y'all. All right, there we go. So I marked off the quarter four. Now we're going this the first quarter of this fiscal year, 2025. We drop back down to the weekly, and there we go. You see it came like to that close. All right, boom. Now we've started 2025. We don't do nothing in here. You don't do anything between 90 and 96 because this was a pullback on consumer staples as tariffs were being announced at the end of the year into a new fiscal year under a new administration. We don't do nothing right here. Our options are we get two closes below 90.39, and where are we going to swing it to? Where's our target? According to this, where would our target be? If we get two confirmed closes below 90.39, where's our target? Good job. I got it in person here. The 15-year-old told me, where y'all at in the chat? I'll make it bigger for y'all. 80.5. There we go. Exactly. Exactly that. So let's see what happens. Mm, mm. Oh my God. 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 Mm. But we still don't do anything in here because it could hold, right? We'd have to be seeing new lows. Now, I ain't going to say it wouldn't be people who wouldn't be, because we're still looking at this first quarterly candle. So let's, y'all feel me. I know some of y'all trying to look up there at the top. I don't care about catching the whole move. That's not what I'm going to be here to teach y'all. We want that confirmed move. All right, cool. Mm-mm. Y'all already know I was going to pull it up. Damn. Coach A, are those the exact same numbers we're looking at right now? Yes, it is. It's top message. Why, yes, it is. 92.82 on Walmart. Why, yes, it is. Mm-mm. Bro, you see what I'm typing in. I know I'm a backtracker because why would you not listen to me? A month ago. Walmart, 70 puts. Hmm. Walmart, 94 puts. Hmm. Oh my gosh. It's so simple. It's so simple, y'all. Inhaled it. And this is where we currently are. Thoughts? What are we waiting for before we make a move on Walmart? If you aren't already in, before we wait for a move on Walmart, let's say you want to get calls. Well, first off, before I even say that, for the fiscal year 2025, we think Walmart going to end up green or red? I, I thought red, good, red, green. It's a mixture, right? And you know, it's crazy. What did we talk about in the first session? The market is a representation of consumer emotions. And when I'm looking at the chat and the responses, I see the confusion in the consumer. Makes sense to me. That price is chopping, the emotion or the analysis is kind of either or on how we think Walmart will do at the end of the year, blah, blah, blah. So in order for me to go short, I need a close below 90.39. In order for me to get long, to go long on a swing, I need a close above 105. Just that simple. Now, here's where the complexity comes from. As we sitting in here, put a 3 in the chat if I made this look easy. Put a 3 in the chat if I made it look easy. Raise y'all's hand out here if I made it look easy. All right. Here's how y'all are gonna hang up from this class with me, walk away from me, and then overcomplicate it. Y'all are gonna expect for it to break below 90.39 or above 105.48 next week. Since I talked about it and made it look easy today, you're gonna sit down and look at your chart and expect for it to make one of those moves next week. And when it doesn't do it next week, you're gonna stop looking at the chart. You're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna go look at something else. You're gonna front load it and try to get in and thinking that you're seeing what you're seeing before you saw what you saw. Did I just hit anybody, whether in person or in the chat? Did I just hit anybody in the fields with that? Let me know. Because that's what y'all gonna do. You're gonna get away from me and then you're gonna go overcomplicate it because you're gonna expect for it to happen right then. We're looking at the 3-month chart, babes. Well, I noticed the weekly, but we're doing this off the 3-month chart. Set the mother sucking alert. Damn, I'm sorry, Kivo. Baby, do you play football? Your coach be cussing you out? Oh, well, shit, all right, bet. Listen, okay, that don't overcomplicate this shit. You set the mother freaking alert at 105.50 or below 90.30, and you wait. And you wait. You're gonna be like, oh, but I'm not making money this week. Okay, but whenever it breaks above 105.50, we've seen what this does when it breaks these ranges. We just back tested an entire year. When they break out of these quarterly ranges, we see how price shoots and goes. You're gonna be able to make your money in one trade in one go. So what you want to do? You want to struggle for it every week, or you want to just sit your butt back and wait? Because I guarantee you, even with me saying this and pointing it out, some of y'all are gonna overcomplicate this simply because you're impatient. And since I pointed it out to you today, you want it to move tomorrow. It don't work like that. In this career, slow feet do eat real well. Slow feet eat real well over here, actually. Real well. Trust me. I'm eating real good. Slow feet. Big picture, slow feet. Okay. And I was wondering when she was gonna realize he probably used. I would try to be respectful. All right. So that concludes our dang y'all. Now we 2.5 hours in for today. Period per. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Phoebe. We finna go ahead and break. So then what we're doing is for those who registered for the event today, because we're about to break for lunch and do some icebreakers and just gonna like, chit chat with them and whatnot while we're eating our good old food. So the link is already made, it's already preloaded, and Fiddy's going to email it to y'all. And Fiddy, you can really just go ahead and put it in the Mentee chat or in Mentee chat and Academy announcements. So you'll have that link. It'll be in your emails and posted everywhere else 30 minutes before. And we'll finish up our afternoon session. And in there, we're going to be talking more so about how do we do this for the kids, building some custodial accounts. I'm going to go through 529 plans. I'm going to see if I can get my mentor to say anything. She going to cut me out. She's going to say something in the chat, but she probably will. And so that'll be really good. And then I also have someone who's going to come in and just talk to us about credit for a little bit. All right. So those in the live class and watching virtually, I have a ball. I got to go find something. Oh. Did she try to put that in before I called her out? Don't worry about it, y'all. We'll hear her say something later. Don't even worry about it. Anyhow, so we're gonna go ahead and end this so that we can eat lunch over here virtual or in person. But I will see y'all back at 1:30, my virtual babies. Okay. Put a 5 in the chat if you expect, if I want to make sure it's no confusion. Everybody tracking? We're breaking for lunch with the 30 minutes, but 2:30 Eastern. Yes, ma'am. You will have it back.
Thank you for visiting while we celebrate today. We'll be closing at 1 o'clock for a library mini golf fundraiser.
We tracking? I'm going. I was typing it. Okay. I mean, period. Yeah, they already telling us to come for good so much so they can set this room back up. So period. So I will see y'all again at the 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern. I'm really having a good time with y'all today, and so I'll see y'all soon. Don't be late.